Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream. Today, we are back for the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. 136 live commentaries before these playoffs here tonight, all setting the stage for this playoff run. How's everybody doing? Glad to see everybody here in the chat. It is the first game of the playoffs and the first game of this series between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ottawa Senators. What's up, OG Savage? How are we doing? We got a good crowd here to start off. Before we hop in, be sure to vote on the poll for who wins Game 1. It is in the chat box. Just press who you think's going to win. And also like the stream and subscribe down below if you're new and you enjoy the content here on the channel. We will be live for all of the playoff games this weekend. Yes, all of the games today, all of the games tomorrow. We will be live for every single one here on the channel. Going about 9 hours today, maybe longer, and 12 hours tomorrow, maybe longer as well. Getting ready to perform the national anthems here in Carolina. Let's get into our game preview here tonight between these two teams. So, obviously, Carolina finished as the #1 team in the Eastern Conference, and the Senators finished as the wild card 2 in the Eastern Conference. But don't get it twisted. These two teams match up pretty well, and it should be a fun and competitive series. You should not scoff at the Ottawa Senators, regardless of where they're placed in the overall standings. They have still had a phenomenal season and are still a great team. Starting goaltenders here tonight between these two teams. In net for Carolina is Frederik Andersen. Andersen getting the start over Bussy and Kochetkov, as again, Andersen has plenty of playoff experience, and they're giving their vet a chance to start off here in Game 1. On the other side, it's Linus Ullmark for the Ottawa Senators, as Ullmark has been their goalie for a long time now, and he will stay their guy through the playoffs. Currently going on with the national anthem right now for O Canada and I almost said God Bless America and the national anthem. But thank you all for tuning in. What's your predictions? Who's winning the cup? Everybody's asking me that question. I posted my bracket a couple of hours ago. I said Dallas over Tampa is going to be my bracket this year, but normally it never typically goes that way. So I'm assuming I'm going to get a couple of series wrong throughout the course of these playoffs. But overall, it should be a very fun playoff run. Again, I said the schedule. We'll be live for the rest of today, commentating Dallas, Minnesota later on, in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. But we will also be live tomorrow for the 8 playoff games that are tomorrow as well. Here is our full schedule over the next week or so. Again, you can see at the top there, we got Hurricanes, Sens, Dallas Wild, Flyers, Pittsburgh there for the first day of games. And then tomorrow we have Avalanche, Kings, Lightning, Canadiens, Sabres, Bruins, and Golden Knights and Mammoth. That is all on the schedule here tomorrow on the channel. So I'm really looking forward to it here. I'm so excited to get ready and commentating some playoff games here. Been looking forward to it all year. We commentated 136 live commentaries over the entire regular season. That includes the World Juniors, Milano Cortina, and all the other stuff in between. And it was all setting the stage for these playoffs this year. I'm so damn excited and so excited what we're going to be able to do here in these playoffs. And the national anthem is just now concluding here in Carolina, meaning we are ready to start Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ottawa Senators. They get the opener this time around. Last year it was St. Louis and Winnipeg that got the opener north in Manitoba. And there the anthems conclude. We'll get into the starting goaltenders here and their numbers this season. Frederik Andersen, 16, 14, and 5 this year, a 3.05 goals against average and a .874 save percentage. He has 46 and 35 in his playoff career. And on the other side, you have Linus Ullmark, 28, 12, and 8, a 2.73 and a .891 this year. Those numbers are a lot better than what they were at the beginning of the season. His playoff career, he's 5-10 overall in the playoffs, looking to improve that number this year. 16 teams, 16 wins. There's the magic number there for the amount of wins you need for a Stanley Cup, and maybe we're seeing the Stanley Cup winner tonight. Maybe we're not. The Stanley Cup playoffs, game number 1 of round number 1 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ottawa Senators, and we are underway. Face-off is won back then by the Senators, and it's immediately blown dead. We got a fight off the draw. It's Tkachuk versus Stahl. 3 seconds into the game, and the fisticuffs are being thrown. Oh my goodness. 3 seconds in, Brady Tkachuk gets into it with Captain Jordan Stahl. The two captains dueling it out. And that's how we start this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. What a tilt. Oh, man. And him and Stahl were looking at each other. I think Tkachuk was asking if he wanted to go, and Stahl said, sure. Wow. Right off the draw, 2 5-minute majors there for fighting for Stahl and Tkachuk. What a start. Oh, man. Now, again, those are two players that have been captain of their teams for many years now, and they're not afraid to drop the gloves, Tkachuk especially. Face-off coming up here now outside of the Ottawa zone. It's a tie-up on the right side. Greg battling for it there with Ehlers. Carolina trying to get that one free on the right side. Ottawa picks it up. They'll flick it back to center. Nick Cousins racing for that puck. It's stolen back then by Sean Walker and dumped to center. Ottawa trying to get that one back. It's intercepted by the Canes. Here's Marnook into the zone. Will backhand this one around behind the net. Below the line then is Ehlers. Ehlers will fire it on. It's blocked there in front. Marnook now battling for with Shabbat. Carolina takes on that mentality. They love to shoot the puck no matter where they are. They love to shoot that puck. Fighting forward here on the right side. Ehlers trying to get it free. It's kept in the zone by Cousins. Sens will get it back to center. Sanderson will play it ahead. Canes will backhand it down low. And now both teams will get a line change. Jordan Spence behind the net here for Ottawa. Sens, last year in the playoffs, they met their demise against the Maple Leafs in 6 games. The Hurricanes went all the way to the conference finals and lost to Florida in 5. Neither of those two teams that they faced and lost to last year are in the playoffs this year. Artem Zub behind the net then to Jake Sanderson. Sanderson will throw this one to center. Chatfield dumps it down low into the Ottawa zone. Omar plays it back then for Sanderson below the line. Jake Sanderson will drop it off the boards then for Zub. Artem Zub now looks for options. Plays it ahead then for Pinto. Kane's trying to bank this one off the boards. It's Ehlers battling for it on the right side. Dump back down low into the Ottawa zone. Allmark will backhand this one around the right side. Hall to Stankoven. Stankoven down low then for Jackson Blake, who tries to play that one away. Sens will take it back. They'll clear it to center. Gostisbehere will end up dumping it back down low into the zone. Now Thomas Shabbat here below the line. Trying to clear that one away. Kept in by the Canes. Taylor Hall fighting with Pinto. Sens will get it free. They'll try and break it back to center. Now Hall battling for it on the right side. Pinto's there as well. It's just a scramble for the puck right now, it seems like. Cousins will clear this one back to center. Rookie Alex Nikishin, who joined Carolina last year in the playoffs, is on the ice. Sens will dump it into the Carolina bench, and we will get a stoppage of play. Already a fast start here against Stahl versus Tkachuk. Off the draw, throwing the fisticuffs. Are we that surprised by that? Come on. We shouldn't be that surprised by that altercation here to start this one off right away. Faceoff's going to come here at center, just outside of the Ottawa zone. It's one back then by the Sens. Off the boards, Nicholas Matampalo, Olympian for Team Finland. Canes will bring it back to center, racing forward with speed. Then it's Carrier. Carrier tried to get to that puck first. It was poke checked away by an Ottawa player. Battling for it down low then is Eller. Eller fighting with Jankowski. Eller tied up down low in the corner, trying to get that puck free. Mark Jankowski feeds it up. Top shot on there goes wide of Olmark. At the point, Miller tried to get a shot on there as well. He was blocked. Sens defense Despite the injuries they've dealt with at the end of the season, they played absolutely incredible. So I expect nothing less here in this series. Here's Robinson battling forward on the right side with Stützle. Sens will clear it back to center. Canes will regroup now in their own end. Anderson will drop it back behind the net then for Walker. Sean Walker gives it up then for K'Andre Miller. Walker now feeds it through center. And it slides all the way back down low into the Ottawa zone. Ullmark out of his own net to play that puck. Up top then, Svechnikov to Slavin a shot. That one goes wide. Now Jalen Chatfield trying to keep that one down low in the zone. Sends clear it back to center. Only one shot so far, if I'm correct, and that goes to Carolina. It's been mostly Canes in the Ottawa zone here so far. Carolina will move this one now through center. Here's Sebastian Aho trying to poke check this one away. Sens will break it now through center. Cousins battling forward with Ehlers. Here's Ehlers through center, intercepted, and a blown whistle here for an offsides at 16-18. Carolina had 7 players this season score more than 20 goals. That is the most in the NHL. They had Jarvis with 32, Svechnikov with 31, Aho with 27, Ehlers with 26, Blake with 22, Stankova with 21, and Stahl with 20 here as well. You know, again, Carolina, they love to shoot the puck. I was talking about that in the preview that I posted yesterday. They love to get shots on net. Faceoff is won back by the Canes. Dumped down low into the Ottawa zone by Nikishin. Trying to play that one down low was Dennis Gilbert. Carolina keeps it in. Marno trying to throw a pass in front. That one is blocked up top. Then Nikishin. Alex Nikishin will try and throw it down low in the corner. Sens will try to force it to center. We get a whistle here and a penalty's coming up, I believe. Or no, it was an offsides. What the heck? That was a weird offsides call. My apologies. No penalty on that play. Coaching matchups here between these two teams. Rod Brind'Amour, 8th season as the Hurricanes head coach. He has reached the playoffs in every single season that he has been with the Hurricanes. On the other side, you have Travis Green. Travis Green, in his 2nd year as the Senators head coach, he's definitely been a big contributor as to why the Senators have been able to consistently make the playoffs these last few years. Motivating the team, trying to tell them to keep the noise out of the locker room. Shot from Gostisbehere is fanned upon. Now Cousins will clear it back to center. Gostisbehere battling for it then with Amadio. Canes will try and clear it down low. Stankoven brings it into the zone. Cross-ice pass then's broken up. In front, Gostisbehere will fire it off Ullmark and back down low to the corner. Thomas Chabot trying to get it back then for the Sens. Stolen back over by Taylor Hall on the right side. Cousins trying to throw that puck to center. Sens will get it back down low here in their own end. Now Chabot will regroup with it behind his own net. About 5 minutes gone here in this opening period of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We are still scoreless. Eller battling for it down low with Chatfield. Trying to get to it there is Nikishin. Up top, Montimpalo. First time the Sens have had real offensive control here in this one so far. Puck is banked back to center. Now Zetterlund will get it back then for Ottawa. That's an icing against the Canes. So a faceoff will come back in the Carolina zone at 14:50. And the two captains will now come out of the penalty box after their fight. We'll see if they clash again here in these playoffs. Always a physical series when these two teams play. It's an underrated matchup. They play each other both very hard. Face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. It's Jankowski versus Stützle on the draw. $14.50 left to go in this opening period. Face-off is won back by the Sens. Batherson to the point. Sanderson down low then. Batherson in front. Stützle, it's in the crease. And taken back then by the Canes. And they will throw it to center. Sanderson back off the boards then ahead for Claude Giroux. Giroux knows this arena very, very well. Stützle pass in front. And he's broken up there by Batherson on the right side. Canes will try and get it to center. Sens keep it in. Batherson pass up top. Stützle a shot. That one is blocked there by Chatfield. Great defensive play by the Canes. And they will get it back to center. 3-on-2 now the other way. Svechnikov into the zone. Fires one of Ullmark. It comes in front. And he plays it away. Aho on the right circle. Fires it on through traffic. Save. Rebounds in front. And cleared away. Canes will keep it down low in the zone, though. Aho throws it behind the net, then to Zub. Artem Zub Off the boards then to Stützle. Stützle battling for it then with Jarvis. Here come the Sens through center. Sanderson will dump this one down low into the Carolina end. Sean Walker trying to get that one back. Here's Tkachuk digging into the zone. Cousins in front, save, rebound in front. They jab at that puck, and it goes wide of Anderson. Walker battling for it now on the right side, taken back then by the Canes. A 2-on-2 ensues. Sens will break it up. Brady Tkachuk breaks up Jordan Stahl's 2-on-1. He'll hold it in his own zone, and the puck is cleared up and out of play at 13:27. And this might be our first commercial break. What a start here to the Stanley Cup playoffs. A fight between the two captains here tonight is scoreless after about 7 minutes of play here in Game 1. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you are new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We are going to be live for all the games today here on the channel. Let's take a look at the status report here between these two teams. And from what I saw this morning, there's not a lot to this, to be honest. Tyler Clevin, who is not in this game, is practicing in a non-contact. Stankoven was back on the ice Friday after missing practice on Thursday. He is not in this game tonight. Or no, he is in this game tonight. Sorry, I'm blind. He is in this game tonight. Scratches tonight, Kotkaniemi, Delorier, Riley, and Kochetkov. For the Sens, Curtis McDermott, Stephen Halliday, Hayden Hodgson, Cameron Crotty, and Lassie Thompson are the scratches for Ottawa. The goalie tandems tonight, you have Linus Ullmark starting in net, of course, with James Reimer as the backup. Reimer, former Carolina Hurricane, longtime NHLer. And on the other side, you have Frederik Andersen, who does get the start tonight. Again, Andersen, you may wonder, why is he starting over Bussy or even Kochetkov? Well, Bussy is a rookie, and I think they wanted to give Andersen a start because he has the playoff experience. And Kochetkov just came back from injury. They're not exactly sure if they want to just throw him into a playoff game right away. But Anderson's had some solid stats in the playoffs regardless of that. Only one shot here through the first about 7 minutes or so, and it comes from the Sens. They have certainly had their ups and downs this season. Started off the year very slow. They've heated up and finished as the second wildcard team here in the Eastern Conference. Puck will slide down low into the Carolina zone. Yeah, Bussy's good, but, you know, again, you look at what Anderson's done as a goalie in the playoffs. It makes sense to give the playoff goalie who has the most playoff experience a start, but I'm sure we'll see Bussy at least once here in these playoffs. Canes will try and clear it to center. It's a scramble for it. Now Spence will backhand it down low into the Carolina zone. Nikishin will play back to the right side. Then here's Stankoven. He'll try and flick this one to center. Ottawa try to play that one ahead as well. Stankoven will dump it down low into the Ottawa end. Behind the net now with it is Lars Eller. Eller will carry it here through center. He gets knocked off that puck. Carrier to Stankoven. Tie up there now on the right side. Ottawa will backhand that one down low into the Carolina zone. Nikishin battling for it then with Zetterlund. Zetterlund trying to get that puck free then down low. Cleared around behind the net. What's up, JP? How we doing? Here's Nikishin. Behind the net. Tries to throw a pass up to center. Carrier will dump it down low into the Ottawa end. Now Sanderson behind the net then for Ottawa. Fed back up top to Zetterlund. Huge hit there by Miller. And now the Canes regroup in their own end. Walker will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Shabbat below the line then to Zub. Zub off the boards then for Batherson. It's cleared away. Here's Eller. Back up to Batherson. Drake Batherson trying to carry this one into the zone. Giroux takes it back for the Sens. Up top, Shabbat. He'll fire it on. Tipped in front. And Batherson couldn't get that puck in time. The Canes will try and clear. Claude Giroux in the neutral zone for Ottawa. Will dump that one down low. Anderson out of his own net to play this puck. Giroux will throw it furthermore into the corner as he intercepts that pass. Claude Giroux, longtime NHLer. 102 playoff games, 86 career points. Up top, Spence fires it on. Save there by Anderson on a Ridley Gregg rebound. And the Canes will clear this one back to center. Ottawa getting the first few shots of the game. Interesting. Here's Shabbat. Carries it now through center. He'll flick it down low just wide of Anderson, who poke checks it to the corner. Ottawa battling for the puck on the right side. Jordan Stahl trying to get it free. Senzel backhanded down low to the corner. Nick Cousins tried to battle for that puck. It's grabbed back then by Jordan Stahl. On the right side, Aho. Centering pass then Slavin. Backhanded off the boards by Stahl and down low into the Ottawa zone. Gregg battling for it then with Montepalo. Huge hit down low in the corner. Chatfield keeps it in for the Canes. Backhand goes down low and wide of Olmark. Now Nick Cousins. Below the line then to Gilbert. He's knocked to the ground by Marnock. Turnover in front. Up top here now Slavin. Slap shot. And that one goes off of Olmark and out of play. Nice chance there by Jacob Slavin. There's the first shot of the game for the Canes. And you could see the physicality here again. When you get to the playoffs, plenty of hits, plenty of shots. It's just a whole nother level to it, honestly. There really is. Already through my first water. Or first half of a water, actually. 10:21 left to go here in this opening period. We are still scoreless. Face-off coming up here now in the Senators zone. Pinto versus Taylor Hall. Face-off won by the Canes. Shot on there is blocked. Amadio will poke check this one to center. Amadio battling for it then with Gostisbehere. Puck is cleared back to center. Taylor Hall on the right side battling for it down low in the corner. Sanderson getting it back for the Sens and poke checking it to center. It'll slide in there on Anderson. Taken away then by Ottawa. Pinto trying to throw a pass in front to Amadio. Here's Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere will carry this one through center and backhand it down low into the Senators zone. And we got an icing here against Ottawa at 9:48 as the puck slid right down the other way. Not a lot of shots so far. 3-0 in favor of the Senators is what my computer reads. I thought Carolina got the shot off there, but I guess I was wrong. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone. It's going to be Pinto versus Jankowski. You guys get your brackets in for the bracket challenge. Face-off here won by Ottawa. Miller a shot. That one deflects up in the air and out of play. Somebody caught that. Got a little standing ovation there from the fans. Electric arena there in Carolina. It always is. Canes have some of the best fans in the league. Still scoreless here in Carolina. We will step aside yet again. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Pretty good crowd here to start off tonight. Very grateful for that. We'll be live for the other commentaries later on tonight. Of course, that includes the Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild and the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Those are going to be two electric matchups here later on the channel. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys will be able to tune in. And it should be a very exciting stretch of games over these next couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Starting goalies in those games later on tonight. It looks like it's going to be Ottinger versus Wallstead. Wallstead's getting the start for Minnesota. And then for Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, likely going to be Vladar and Skinner is what I have seen there in terms of the starting goaltenders and such. So there you go. But anyway, we will be live again. I mean, I showed the schedule earlier, but here it is again. I mean, like, that's over 20 streams over the next week or so. We're going to be live a lot here on this channel, streaming all the games. It's going to be so much fun to do. I took the whole week off of work, and we should be live all the way up until next Wednesday, I believe, is when the first night of the playoffs where I will not be live again for. 9:43 left to go in this opening period. Canes and Sens are still tied at zip. Again, these two teams known for their physicality and getting shots on, that's for sure. Highly offense as well. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone is won back then by the Sens. Canes putting the pressure on. Cousins versus Robertson. Taken away then by Thomas Chabot, who will get it to center. He'll dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Zetterlund threw a centering pass to Eller. It was broken up there. Shot on Anderson there is blocked as well. Carolina will clear it back to center then. Sens trying to get it back. Montepallo off the boards. Intercepted in front. Jankowski a shot. He fans on that puck. And Chabot will clear it back to center. Here come the Sens with speed. Fogel knocked down to the ground there by Walker. Lars Eller trying to keep that one down low. Good physical play there by the big bulky defenseman Sean Walker. Here come the Canes through center. Svechnikov fires it wide of Olmark. He broke around the defenseman there and tried to get it on, but Carolina still looking for their first shot of the game. Jarvis thrown back out to center. Slavin off the boards then for Walker. Down low then Chatfield trying to throw a shot on. He gets denied there. Batherson below the line to Stützle. Now Artem Zub gets it back then for Ottawa. Zub battling for on the right side there with Jarvis. Puck is cleared back to center. Stützle, he'll get around Chatfield. Nice play to dodge the hit. Aho down low in the corner. Stützle steals it back. Pass in front. Giroux on his leg. Spence's shot. Save rebound. Stützle chance. And that one goes wide. Batherson trying to throw a pass in front there too. It was blocked off by Slavin. Here come the Canes now through center. Jarvis will dump that one down low into the Ottawa zone and get a line change off. 7 shots have been blocked for Ottawa here so far through this one already. Here's Stahl. Cross-ice pass to Miller. Miller will dump it down low then into the Ottawa zone. Chabot trying to throw a puck to center. He's jabbing at it down low in the corner. Marnook behind the net then for Carolina. Thrown back up top to Miller. Miller will dump it around behind the net then to Cousins. Nick Cousins will flick this puck to center. Canes trying to move this one the other way. It's Jordan Stahl who will chip this one down low into the Ottawa zone. Cousins for Chabot. Down low now is Jordan Spence. Spence will throw this one back to center. Nobody is there for Ottawa. The Hurricanes will regroup in their own end and get a one to center. Here they come. Taylor Hall is shot on, and there's the first shot of the game for Carolina. And Linus Olmark makes the save. Definitely been a tough stretch of games tough season overall for Linus Olmark. He's bounced back over the last, I would say, month or two. But especially in the middle of the season, he was having a really rough time dealing with mental health problems. And then obviously the rumors on Twitter started and everything kind of took a turn for the worst. Glad to see him back here starting for the Sens in game 1 of the playoffs. The fact that they're here is absolutely incredible. I'm still very surprised they're here. Slavin up top fires a shot on. It goes wide of Olmark. Chatfield behind the net then to Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall now below the line battling forward with Sanderson. Pass in front. What a save by Olmark. They jab it in the crease. Hall a shot. And that one goes wide. Ottawa will pick it up and get it back to center. Tkachuk flips it ahead then for Gregg. Ridley Gregg throws it down low then for Dylan Cousins. Cousins will dump it around behind the net then to Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk below the line then for Ottawa. Tries to get it back to Gregg. Chatfield fighting with Gregg now on the right side. Ottawa keeps it in. They'll dump it down low just wide of Olmark. Battling for it in the corner then was Slavin. Canes will flick this one up and out of play. That should be a penalty. And I think we're going to get a power play coming up here now for the Senators. And that will be the first power play of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's on Jackson Blake. 2-minute minor delay of game. The Sens will head to the power play for the first time today. Ottawa's power play definitely on the upper echelon. Face-off coming up here now in this Carolina zone. Scoring first is really important. And the Sens have a massive opportunity to give themselves the first goal. They start off bad, though. Carolina will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Jake Sanderson carries it now through center. He'll drop it back then for Batherson. Batherson brings it into the zone. He's got some room, feeds it up top then to Cousins. Cousins at the point, back over to Stützle. Stützle battling for it there on the right side. Keandre Miller will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Shots are now dead even at 4 apiece. Carolina had a good sequence of chances there before they took the penalty. Stützle into the zone to Tkachuk. Tkachuk up top then for Sanderson. Sanderson trying to get it over for Batherson. Below the line then Stützle. Up top Sanderson. Poke checked away by the Canes. And they'll have to regroup in their own end. Already halfway through the power play. Stützle will flick it back then for Chabot. Chabot carries it into the zone. He's poke checked away and a whistle blown dead for an offsides anyhow against Ottawa. Good chance here for Ottawa to build up some momentum. Again, their power play was ranked 8th in the NHL heading into tonight. In terms of their regular season numbers, Carolina's PK ranked 11th. Face-off here now outside of the Ottawa, or the Carolina zone is won by the Sens. Pinto will dump it down low. Battling for it on the right side then, Foegele. Giroux up top to Chabot. Second unit out there now on the ice. Turnover forced. Here come the Canes the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Walker pass over to Jankowski is broken up. And the Sens will regroup in their own end. Here's Thomas Chabot. Will drop it back then for Claude Giroux. Giroux will move this one through center. Foegele into the zone. Giroux below the line. Feeds it up top then to Chabot. Chabot at the point for Ottawa. Pass to Zetterlund. Giroux fires it down low. Pinto behind the net. Pinto throws it up top then to Chabot. Chabot to Giroux. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Chabot to Giroux. Fires it on. It's blocked by Keandre Miller, and he will clear yet again down the other way. Good kill by the Canes, and there's the first penalty of the game being killed off. Shot's now 5-4 as Miller fired that shot on Ullmark from the other end of the ice. Back to 5-on-5 here now, battling for it down low in the corner. Here's Taylor Hall. Throws it then below the line. Nick Cousins will bring it now through center. Trying to poke check that one ahead and around the Carolina defense. Ridley Gregg. On the right side, stolen back then by the Canes. Flip down low, Stankoven comes in, denied by Ullmark. And there was a nifty chance there for Stankoven. Here come the Sens the other way. 3-on-2. Gregg into the zone, back to Batherson. Batherson dekes in, pass over, in front of Mario, fires it, saved by Anderson. Puck's in the crease then. Batherson gets it back. Canes trying to poke check it away. It's kept in by the Sens. Down low in the corner, Amadio. Battling for it then with Chatfield. Stankoven is there as well. Chatfield will flick this one all the way back into the Ottawa zone. It'll slide in there on Ullmark, so he'll play the puck for Chabot. 3:15 left to go in this opening period. Not a lot of whistles here in this one, which means a fast-paced start. Giroux for Stützle. Warps it around, trying to throw a pass over then in front. Would have been a nice play if he pulled it off. Here's Stützle back down low in the corner. Up top then. Spence will fire it, tipped in front, and just wide there as Claude Giroux nearly tucked it into the back of the net. Here's Svechnikov now with speed. Svechnikov with some room, fires, it's a rebound, denied! How did that stay out? Here's Aho on the right circle. Carolina fires it wide of Ullmark. Here's the storm surge now. Gostisbehere shot on, denied by Ullmark. In the corner is Nikishin. Battling for it then with Stankoven. Svechnikov is there as well. Aho tried to play it back down low. Sens will clear back to center. Now Gostisbehere regroups here for Carolina. Shots are 9-5 now. The Canes have surged back in these last few minutes. Here's Stahl. Pass in front. Broken up then by Gilbert. Here's Tkachuk. Carries it now through center. Cross ice pass to Montempalo, who will dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Ehlers will throw it up to center. Jordan Martinook carries it into the zone. Now fighting with Montempalo here in the corner. Montempalo fighting there alongside Gilbert. Canes keep it into the point. Walker fires it wide. Brady Tkachuk gets it back for Ottawa in their own zone. Here's a 3-on-3 the other way. Gilbert will gain the line and dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Kane's trying to bring it through center. Here's Eller battling for it then on the right side. And we got a whistle blown dead here as the physicality continues yet again. Some pushing and shoving at center ice in front of the Ottawa bench. Andrei Svechnikov had a damn near chance to make this a 1-0 game for Carolina, but he fired it wide. We are still scoreless here in the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream down below. Subscribe if you are new. Be sure to vote in the poll as well in the comment section. It'd be greatly appreciated. Pretty good start here to tonight's game. Both teams are playing that offensive role that we knew we were going to get here heading into this one. Oh my goodness. Second water of the day. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. It's a good day for playoff hockey. Carolina off to a hot start. Going to try and make as many clips as we possibly can here in these playoffs. Shots are 8-5. So a delay of game call there for the Canes was killed off. It was a good kill by Carolina, too. The Sens really couldn't set up. I don't think they got any shots on that play either, so really great setup there for sure. Back here in Carolina, don't forget, 2 more games later on tonight here on the commentary schedule. We have the Stars and the Wild. That'll be a fun game later on. And then the Penguins and the Flyers. Battle of Pennsylvania is always fun. And they also have 4 streams tomorrow. 4 more game ones, which should be highly entertaining if I do say so myself. Just a little bit under 90 seconds to go here in this opening period. Canes and Sens are still scoreless. Yeah, they're doing good. Got to keep them going, though. As well as keeping these streams going, keeping the commentaries going. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone. Jankowski will take the draw. He loses it. Sens will get it back. Here's Zub. Dumping it down low into the Carolina zone. Anderson out of his own net to play it. Around to the right side, then Zetterlund. Battling for it now on the right side. Zub trying to get it free. It's thrown back to center. Artem Zub fighting then with Carrier. Carrier will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Olmark. Back over then to the right side. Fogle. Cleared back down low then behind the net. Last minute of play here in the opening period of game number 1. Puck is cleared back to center end. The Keeshan battling for it. Cross-ice pass for Jankowski, who will dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. Here's Stützle. Regrouping with it down low in the Ottawa end. Shabbat. Cross-ice pass to center. Broken away then by Slavin, who will dump it down low. Now Stützle gets it back in his own end. 30 seconds to go. Shabbat. Off the boards then for Spence. Spence will clear this one down low into the Carolina zone. Chatfield will regroup back over to the right side. Then Aho flicked in the air to center. Aho racing for it. Takes it around behind the net. Pass in front. Ehlers fires it wide of Olmark. Two Danish players there. That's not true, actually. Here's Shabbat. Holding it down low in the corner. Kept in the net there by Carolina. Chatfield fires it wide of Olmark. And back up top, then Slavin, cross-ice pass. Oh, a shot! And that'll do it for period number 1. 20 minutes of play, and we are still scoreless. We will have to wait to see if there is another goal here in this game. Both goalies played solid. Shots were 8-5 in favor of Carolina. And that being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 2 momentarily. So be sure to stay in the stream. Subscribe down below if you're new. And like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement.
Such a great battle to start the league. Well, you got
All right, what a first period that was. Good chances for each side. Plenty of physicality as well. We knew there was going to be a lot of that here heading into this one tonight. And I'm not surprised in the slightest that right off the draw, Tkachuk and Stahl immediately get into it. Shouldn't be a shocker whatsoever. Now, PK talking to Jordan Stahl. Philly will win in 6, Stars in 5. Yeah, what's your guys' playoff predictions? Who's winning each series? Drop them in the comment section down below. Who's winning those playoff series? I think Pittsburgh will beat Philadelphia, but I think it'll be a closer series than the Penguins fans think. I'm only picking Pittsburgh to win, so it's the reverse psychology. So then that way the Flyers end up actually winning. You got to think smart. Think smarter, not harder. That's my analogy here so far tonight. Think smarter, not harder. All right, pretty good start there. Stars in 5? I disagree. I don't think Stars in 5. I think it's going to be longer than that. The Wild will put up a fight. Oilers in 5? Probably. We'll see what happens there. I think the Oilers will beat the Ducks for sure. It'll be a close series, though, in my opinion. I think the Stars will win the Stanley Cup. I picked the Stars, too, in my my bracket prediction. I know I posted one last night and said that was my bracket. I really bounced back and forth between what some of my picks were going to be. So it was a little bit difficult for me. I was bouncing back and forth. Avs in 4, yeah, probably. But I picked Avs in 5 just to be nice. I never pick a sweep. I usually just go 5 for series like that, or 4 or 6 sometimes. I think it'll be 5, but it could be 4. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 4. That's the first game tomorrow. That's the first game tomorrow. Like that's the first game of the day tomorrow. It's really strange. Yeah, so tomorrow you got Kings and Avalanche at 3 o'clock. Canadians and Lightning at 5:45. Bruins and Sabres at 7:30. And then Mammoth and Golden Knights at 10 o'clock. That is tomorrow's schedule. We will be live for all 4 of those games tomorrow. So there you go. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. It's day 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's always an exciting time. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in here and choosing my stream tonight. Kings love the OT. Yeah, they do. 20 overtime losses is literally insane. Losing 20 times in overtime is absolutely nuts. So, yeah, so my picks, I got, so for this series, I got Canes in 6. For Wild and Stars, I got Stars in 7. Flyers and Pens, I have Pens in 6. Kings and Avalanche, I have Avalanche in 5. Lightning and Canadians, I have the Lightning in 6. Bruins and Sabres, I have the Sabres in 6. And then Mammoth and the Golden Knights, I have the Mammoth in 7. But I could see the Mammoth winning. It depends how that series starts between the Mammoth and the Golden Knights. That really depends how that series starts. Vegas loves OT too. Yeah, they do. They definitely do as well. And then Oilers and Ducks, I think it's going to be Oilers in 5. I don't think the Ducks really match up that well against the Oilers. I think the Oilers pretty much topple them in every single metric. But I do think it'll be a close series. I think it'll be a close series regardless of that. So, yeah, that's what's going on tomorrow and Monday, Oilers and Ducks, and then the other 4 playoff series. It's really interesting. I thought there'd be 4 games today, but I guess they're starting off with 3. Just because why not? I'm not exactly sure why, but okay. Guess I'll take it there. Draisaitl might be back next week. Is that the plan? Is he going to be back next week? I didn't know what the exact timeline was for him. I was hoping soon, but I wasn't exactly sure. If that's the timeline, that's good to see. Hopefully that'll be the narrative now, the norm. Got about 11 minutes here till the start of period number 2. Shots are 7-5 here in favor of Carolina through 20 minutes of play. No goals were scored. Only one penalty in that first period. That was not a fighting major. Jackson Blake, 2 minutes for delay of game. And the Hurricanes killed that penalty off. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the timeline is for Draisaitl. I haven't really heard anything on that, so we will have to see what happens there with that, of course. But yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the poll. What did you guys vote on the poll here so far through 20 minutes of play? Let's take a look at that real quick. I'm pulling it up on. Weird thing is I can't see it on my phone, but I can see it on my computer. It's really strange. It's weird the way that works. But anyway. All right, you guys voted on the poll through 20 minutes of play that if it wants to load. 68% of you said the Canes. 32% of you said Ottawa. Okay. Okay, that's kind of what I figured it'd be, to be honest with you. Yeah, I know Dickinson's going to be out for a little bit, too. Probably round 2 for him.
This first intermission report is presented by Expedia, the one place you go to go places. Hey, you like sauce? I know I do. So you know I'm on Domino's new slice sauce. It's zesty, creamy, absolutely perfect for pizza. No wonder they call it slice sauce. Thanks for the dip. No.
Got about 8.5 minutes to go here until period number 3. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. My intermission clock is not always the most accurate in the world, so I apologize for that. What is this ad that I'm watching right now? Oh my goodness. All right, 8 minutes to go till period number 2. Thank you all for sticking around and tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. It's definitely been a struggle a little bit in terms of the views the last couple of weeks here on the streams. Hopefully, the Stanley Cup playoffs will turn things around in light of that. Just been a little bit slow here on the channel recently for the live streams. It's all good. I mean, what I always say with when you go through struggles in terms of views and stuff like that, the worst you can do is just stop. The worst you can do is just stop. And that's kind of the mentality that I'm taking here into these playoffs. I just got to keep going at it. Keep going at it and get back to where we were previously. And I think me taking those 2 weeks off and not really streaming that much between then and like those last 2 weeks of March or so, I think that really affected things. Definitely had an impact on the numbers for sure. Yeah, definitely overtime a lot in that series. I'm looking forward to that. If we do get overtime games here in this series and they go on an extended period of time, we'll be live until that game ends. If that means we miss one of the games that ends up happening after that, then so be it. But if this game, let's say this game goes 5 overtimes, we'll be live for it. We'll be live for the entire 5 overtimes. So that's what we're rolling with here, essentially.
Yeah, I think Svechnikov for Carolina is rolling downhill right now. He's skating as good as I've seen him skate for a long time. He looks healthy. He looks driven. He's going to be much to handle for...
A little cold. Can't wait to find out about the Team USA and Canada rosters for the Hockey World Cup. That's not till 2028. There is not a World Cup this year. It's 2028 when that comes. At least I think so. I don't believe there's a World Cup of hockey this year. I believe that's next year. So, sadly, you might have to wait a little bit, JP. Sorry to say. All right, second period coming up here now in just a moment. Stick around, everybody. I appreciate all you guys tuning in here to the channel. It means a lot. I got to say this, but let's go Senators. Oh, yeah, JJ. What's up, JJ? How we doing? It's going to be a long evening, my friend, doing 3 games in a row. We have some smelling salts for the complete playoffs. Oh, I'm ready. I'm so prepared for this, man. Good to see you here, Steven. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. It's gonna be a long evening, especially, but I'm looking forward to it. At least I'm gonna be done relatively early, comparatively speaking. The next game starts at 8 o'clock, or the last game starts at 8 o'clock, so it probably won't be done till like 11:30, and that's not that bad. Like usually I'd be halfway through a commentary then. So tonight's gonna be good. Tomorrow might be a little bit brutal. We'll see. 4 games tomorrow. I've only done that once before here on the channel. That'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting.
Diabetes? It's complicated. It feels like if you aren't perfect, you aren't making progress. But progress doesn't mean changing your life in a day. Progress is drinking coffee like you like it, without an audience. It's turning charts and numbers into confident choices. And one little sensor on the back of your arm can help you live with diabetes.
All right, shots are 7-5. That is correct. Everything else stays the same. By the way, this R1 game 1, this will only be like this for the first game. We'll take away the R1 once the actual series are determined. You may be wondering, after tonight's game, when will we be live again next for this series? We will not be live again till Game 3 for this series. So again, we'll miss Game 2 for this playoff series. We'll be live again for Game 3. That's not till Thursday. Which teams do I think will upset? I think the Mammoth have a good chance at upsetting. I think the Flyers have a good chance at upsetting. I think the Wild have a good chance as well. Teams that I think will? I don't know. I picked Buffalo to beat Boston, but if I had to pick a team that would upset, I would pick Boston. I feel like Boston could beat Buffalo, to be completely honest with you. Or at least that's the way I see it. Alrighty, everybody, let's get ready for the start of the second period between the Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes. First period recap, there were no goals scored in that opening frame as we get ready for period number 2 coming up in just a matter of moments. Your stats through 20, shots were 7-5 in favor of Carolina. Faceoffs were 57% in favor of the Senators. Power plays, Ottawa 0 for 1. No power plays so far for Carolina. Hits were 33-24 in favor of the Hurricanes, and block shots were 7-3 in favor of the Senators. Period number 2 between these two teams. Will there be a fight tonight? We will find out. And we'll find out if there is a fight here in this second period, as again, Brady Tkachuk and Jordan Staal got into it earlier. There's only one period, OG. Come on. Only one period has been played. Come on. You can't say that, Savage. Come on. All right. Period number 2 between the Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes here from Lenovo Center, and we are underway. Face-off is won back then by Ottawa. Thomas Chabot will dump it down low into the Carolina end. On the right side now battling forward is Walker back with Cousins. Carolina will bank this one off the boards. Jordan Marnock will clear it back to center. Racing forward with speed then is Ehlers. It slides in there on Omar, who will play back to the right side for Thomas Chabot. Thrown back to center then. Canes will regroup in their own zone. Senators were offsides. They could not play this puck. Here comes Nikolai Ehlers now through center. Ehlers to Staal. Staal fires it. Saved by Omar. Battling for it now down low in the corner. Drake Batherson gets it back then for Ottawa. Batherson with speed will play it back down low. Chabot battling for it then with Chatfield. Carolina will clear this one back to center. Jake Sanderson fighting for it now on the right side. Batted away then by the Senators. Claude Giroux will dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Here's Chatfield. Below the line, tries to bank it away. Sanderson fighting for it then on the right side with Jarvis. Puck is dumped down low to the Ottawa zone. Senators will get it back. Dennis Gilbert will dump it down the other way. Anderson back over then for Chatfield. Below the line then, getting it back is Jacob Slavin. Will send a centering pass for Jarvis. Puck will slide it on Olmark. He'll give it back for Chabot. Thomas Chabot off the boards then for Cousins. Jarvis past the center is broken up. Carolina regroups now at center. Backhanded down low again into the Ottawa zone. Here's Thomas Chabot. At center then, Cousins battling forward with Taylor Hall. Amadio was there as well. It's stolen back then by Carolina yet again. They will regroup in their own end. Shane Gostisbehere off the boards for Hall. Hall tried to backhand it down low. Logan Stankoven tried to clear it away. Here's Gostisbehere. Cross-ice pass. Dumped into the zone there by the Canes. Sanderson behind the net then. Shabbat back over to Spence. Carolina trying to keep that one in the zone. Flicks it down low. Hall in front. Stankoven to drive. He scores! Logan Stankoven with the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Hurricanes open up the scoring. It's 1-0. And that puck just slides right through Linus Ullmark. And there is the first goal of the playoffs. 1-0 Carolina. And that's a rough one there for Ullmark to allow. Oh, that was a flounder of a shot. It just slides through the 5-hole. Oh, that's got to suck there for Linus Ullmark. But the Hurricanes get the opening goal. It's 1-0. Logan Stankoven missed the last few games of the regular season, and he scores the first goal of the playoffs, assisted by Jackson Blake and Taylor Hall. And it's a 1-0 lead for Carolina, as we expected. Face-off coming up here now at center. That's a rough goal for Ullmark to allow. It was barely off the ground. It just deflected off the side of his skate and into the back of the net. That has to suck. Down low now in the corner. Here's Dennis Gilbert. Gilbert throws a pass up top then for Fogle, who misses it. Would have been a 1-on-0 breakaway the other way. Fogle battling for it now on the right side, trying to get that one free. Shane Gostisbehere will clear this one off the boards and all the way back to center. Fogle then battling for with Robinson. Stump back down low then into the Ottawa zone. Gilbert fighting here with Robinson. Thrown back to center. Senators trying to get that one back. It's intercepted by the Canes. Jordan Stahl loops it around down low. Back in the corner then for Ehlers. Ehlers goes for the Michigan, and he missed it wide. He tried to go for the lacrosse goal. Here's Miller, a shot, and that one's wide as well. Ehlers battling for it then with Batherson. Back down low now. Ehlers throws it up top. Then Miller, a shot. Save, rebound in front. And Stahl tried to get it back. And the Senators will clear it to center. Miller back down low. Stutzle intercept the puck. Anderson will make the save and cover up at 16:38. And Nikolai Ehlers tried to do the Michigan. But thankfully Ullmark got right back over there to the right side and made the save before things got lethal there for Ottawa. And that would have been rough. Face-off here in the Carolina zones. One back by the Sens. Sanderson will fire it wide. Huge hit there down low in the Carolina zone. Puck will slide back into the Ottawa end. Sanderson gets it back for Ottawa. Centering then for Gregg. On the right side, Ottawa carries it into the zone. Gregg cross-ice pass broken up. Pass back to Sanderson. Up top, fires it into the chest of Anderson. Sanderson Sanderson shooting it into Anderson. Isn't that a tongue twister there? Shots are 11-7 in favor of Carolina, and Logan Stankoven with the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it comes relatively early in this second period. 1-0 Carolina. Face-off here now in the Carolina zone is one back then by the Canes. Svechnikov down low in the corner. Throws the puck up then for Chatfield. It's nearly poke-checked away there by the Sens. Shabbat battling for on the right side. Grabbed back by Svechnikov, who puts it through his legs. Svechnikov, pass up top then for Slavin. It'll slide back to center as he couldn't keep it in the zone. And now the Sens will regroup in their own end. Thomas Shabbat ahead then for Jordan Spence. Chipped off the boards to center. Taylor Hall will now flick it down low into the Ottawa zone. Spence battling for it in the corner with Jackson Blake, trying to get that one free. Back around then to the right side. Thomas Shabbat will get it back to center. Here's Claude Giroux with speed back up to Stutzle. Trying to get around Hall. And the Canes will clear his Cousins in front. And nearly got a chance on there to tie the game up. But he fumbled that puck wide. At the point, Cousins. Cross-ice pass then for Pinto. Broken up then by the rookie Nikishin, who will battle forward here on the right side. Now Amadio. Gostisbehere hits Pinto down low. Good little cross-check into the boards there. Taylor Hall will backhand it down low into the Ottawa zone. Cousins here for the Sens. Cousins will backhand it down low into the Carolina zone. Anderson will clear this one around the center for the Canes. Jackson Blake dumps it down low. Olmark out of his net to play it. Kept in by Blake. Blake down the right side. Pass in front. It's broken up there by the Sens. Here's Gregg. Down low here in the corner. Ridley Gregg now will try and throw a pass to center. Ehlers gets it back then for the Canes. Now Jordan Spence will regroup here in Ottawa's zone. Jordan Spence looking for options. Cross ice pass then to Gilbert. Gilbert will dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Keandre Miller holds it down low now in the Ottawa zone. About 6 minutes gone here in period number 2. Shots are 12-7. Montempalo will bank this one off the board. Sens will get it back to center. Eller with speed, broken up then by the Canes. Ehlers trying to deke it into the zone. It's cleared back away. Lars Eller now on the right side. Stolen back then by Carolina. Here's Marnook into the zone. Fires it into the chest of Linus Ullmark, and he makes the save at 13:48. The physicality continues, and the goals begin as well. Logan Stankoven with the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Canes here in period number 2. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Logan Stankoven with his 4th goal in a live commentary stream. He loves to score in live commentaries. And he makes it a 1-0 lead for the Canes here early in period number 2. That's a rough goal to allow there for Linus Ullmark. Just barely, just trickles into the back of the net. That has to suck. All right, got to grab that Stankoven goal clip. Crowd is rocking there in Carolina as they usually are. Those fans love hockey.
Exceptional service worldwide. With access to over $3,500 in business and travel value annually, there is nothing like business platinum.
All right. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. It's been a tough year for Linus Ullmark. Had to leave early due to took a step away from the team due to mental health reasons. Said, quote, "I am broken and I am still not fully healed. I am very much trying my hardest every single day to be there." Very inspiring stuff. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. It's going to be Lars Eller versus Jordan Staal here on the draw. Face-off is a tie-up here now. It's won back by the Sens. Jake Sanderson now below the line for Ottawa. Cross-ice pass to Spence. Spence will clear this one off the boards and dumps it down low into the Carolina end. Anderson. Back over then for Staal. Jordan Staal will dump it down low now. Ehlers will clear it back in on Ullmark, who will give it back to Sanderson down low. Sanderson chips it to center. Miller for Walker. Broken up then now on the right side. Sanderson back to Cousins, and we get a whistle blown dead for, I believe, an offsides against the Canes. Ullmark, 2023 Vezina winner with Boston. Since January 4th, he has 14-4-3, a 2.41 and a 904. Prior to that, he had an 881 save percentage. Face-off coming up here now again in the Carolina zone. It is one back and blown dead. I'm not sure what happened there in the Ottawa zone that forced a face-off back in the Carolina end. Must have been the offside was a intentional one or something. Face-off. Coming up here still in the Carolina zone, it's Claude Giroux, longtime NHLer, played for the Philadelphia Flyers for many years. He's one of the few guys on this Ottawa team who has a lot of playoff experience, over 100 playoff games played. Jacob Slavin off the boards then for Batherson. Sten's trying to get that game-tying goal. It's stolen back then by the Canes, who will backhand it down low into the Ottawa zone. Jarvis battling for it then with Shabbat. On the right side, up top, Chatfield fires it on. It's blocked in front. Now trying to get to that one was Jarvis. Sens will get it back to center. Cross-ice pass then for Giroux. Claude Giroux over to Stützle. Stützle kicks it on his legs. He'll circle back around up top. Sanderson, a shot. That one is blocked and goes back down low to the corner. Claude Giroux battling for it then on the right side. Grabbed back then by Svechnikov. Over then for Aho, who will try and flick it off the boards. Senators will clear it. Back down low into the Carolina end. Jalen Chatfield on the right side then for the Canes. Will get it back to center. Sanderson steals it right back. 3-on-2. Sanderson throws it down low behind the net. Then Amadio trying to get back to it. Here's Jackson Blake now through center. Broken up then by the Sens. Canes get it right back. Stankoven fires it wide of Ullmark. He'll get it back down low then behind the net. Jackson Blake is there as well. Stolen back then by Spence. Spence off the boards to Amadio, who will try and clear. Kept in then by Carolina. On the right side now, Sanderson gets it back for Ottawa. Shots are 4-1 here in favor of Carolina so far. Dump back down low again then into the Ottawa zone. Spence back over then for Sanderson. Over ahead for Pinto. Cousins will bank it off the boards and back down low to the Carolina zone. Carrier battling for it now with Amadio down low in the corner. Getting it back is Stützle. Up top then, Carolina will move it through center. Chatfield trying to get around Montempalo. Montempalo gets it back then for Ottawa. Down low in the corner is Tim Stützle. Stützle then will carry it through center for the Sens. Here's Stützle with speed down the right side. Fires it wide of Anderson. And a whistle blown dead here at 11:02. And I think we're going to get a too-many-men penalty here. I think it's against the Sens. Crowd letting out a bunch of cheers here. Here's Wes McCauley. Too many men on the ice call here against the Senators. Travis Green is not a fan of this. Let me see the replay here really quick. Yeah, Green does not like this at all. You can tell he's very unhappy by this call. And I mean, again, like, yeah, you know, sometimes it happens when your players are slow to get off the ice and get a line change off. Sometimes that's what happens. Yeah, 6 guys out there on the ice. Yeah. Alrighty, Carolina power play coming up here. They'll get their first power play of the game. They've been a better team by far in this opening period. Shots are 6-2 in favor of the Canes. Face-off coming up now in the Ottawa zone. Carolina's power play ranked 4th in the NHL during the regular season. Ottawa's PK was one of the worst in the league. Face-off won back then by the Hurricanes. Jarvis up top to Aho. Down low Svechnikov. Pass in front's broken up. And the puck will slide back to center. Here's Gostisbehere then for Carolina. Shane Gostisbehere back down low in the Carolina end. Will look for options now as he moves it through center. He'll dump it down low into the Ottawa zone. It slides in there on Ullmark. And he will opt to cover. Yeah, too many men there on the ice for the Senators. It definitely there was too many men. But the matter is like, was it just a line change, or, you know, usually that's how it goes. But I guess they were too slow to get off, and the referees called them for it. Face-off now in the Ottawa end. Eller versus Stahl. Jordan Stahl playing in his 163rd career playoff game, which is the 7th most amongst active players. Face-off now won back by the Sens. Svechnikov off the boards, battling forward then with Stahl. Aho on the corner now, fighting with Sanderson. Up top, Gostisbehere. Back over to Jordan Stahl. Stahl to Jarvis. At the point, Gostisbehere. Back to Aho. Aho down low for Svechnikov. Svechnikov below the line. Aho now top of the circle. Cross ice pass for Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Svechnikov. A shot. Save rebound was there for Jarvis. He couldn't keep it on his stick. And now the Sens will clear the other way. Puck slides back down low into the Carolina zone. Anderson will give it back then for Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere now carries it through center. Goes with speed, will shoot it there on Olmark. He'll make the save and play it away, but a whistle's blown. At 9:52, I believe they blew the whistle before Olmark played the puck. So now we will get another face-off. News in Dallas, Minnesota. Glenn Gulutzin said that Miro Heiskanen is going to play today. Heiskanen has been out for a little bit with injury. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. Gregg versus Stankoven. Off the draw, Carolina wins it. Ehlers trying to throw it up top. Sanderson steals it back and clears it down the other way. And we're going to get a penalty coming up here now against the Sens. It's going to be a 5-on-3 here for Ottawa as Jake Sanderson tripped Nikolai Ehlers, and we are going to see a 5-on-3 opportunity here for Carolina. This is their chance to really blow the game out here. And yeah, Sanderson does trip him. And that is not a guy you want to have in your penalty box. Jake Sanderson especially. 5-on-3 here now for Carolina. 47 seconds of 5-on-3 time. This is a massive, and I mean massive advantage here for the Canes. Face-off coming now in the Ottawa zone. Pinto versus Jarvis. Face-off is won back by the Sens. They will clear it all the way down low into the Carolina end. Ehlers gets it back then for the Canes. Here they come through center. Ehlers carries it down the right side behind the net. Up top for Aho. Aho trying to throw that one down low to Ehlers. Shabbat will try and clear. It's kept in by by Gostisbehere. Sens will get it out eventually. Gostisbehere will grab it back down low in the Carolina zone. Here's Aho. Through center to Jarvis. Jarvis down low to Aho, below the line. In front, Jarvis couldn't get it there. Up top, trying to go the Gostisbehere. What a save by Linus Olmark. Are you serious? He made the stretch over and got the glove save. What a stop. He robbed Shane Gostisbehere. Well set up power play there by Carolina. They were cycling it there on Ottawa. They had them scrambling. But Linus Olmark with a massive save. Face-off coming up here now again in the Ottawa zone. It's Stankoven versus Ridley Gregg. Gostisbehere 6 power play goals this year. I talked about it in the preview. He's a really good power play quarterback. He can provide plenty of offense. Face-off won by Ottawa. They will clear it down the other way. The first power play comes to a close. We're back to 5-on-4. Now about a minute 05 of 5-on-4 time yet again. Nikishin drops it back for Ehlers. Ehlers ahead then for Stankoven. Stankoven cross ice pass to Ehlers, and the Canes are offsides. They'll blow that one dead. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, later on tonight, we will be live for Stars versus Wild at 5:30 Eastern Time, depending on how long this game goes. And Flyers Penguins at 8 p.m. Face-off now outside of the Ottawa zone is won back by the Canes into their own end. Nikishin will grab it back then for the Canes. Here they come now through center. Ehlers Into the zone. Broken up then. Trying to throw a pass up top then to Nikish, and he missed it. I'm doing good, Marcy. How are you? Here's Logan Stankoven. Cross-ice pass then for Ehlers. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Ehlers up top to Nikishin. Nikishin to Ehlers. A shot goes wide there of Olmark. And back up top for Blake. Jackson Blake back down low. Stolen back then by the Sens, who will chip it off the boards and all the way back down into the Carolina zone. Nikishin now will move it through center. It's good to hear. Here's Logan Stankoven into the zone. Back over to Blake. Jackson Blake on the right side, fighting for it then with Shabbat. Down low in the corner then, Logan Stankoven trying to get that one free. Below the line then, Jordan Spence. Fighting with Stahl. Stahl back down low, chipped around the boards. It's grabbed back then by Spence, who will clear it back to center. 7.5 minutes to go in this second period. The power play comes to a close. A good kill by the Sens. Their PK was really bad in the regular season. Carolina still has the momentum, though. Chatfield throws it down low behind the net then. Carrier on the right side, taken back then by Tkachuk. A 3-on-2 the other way. Tkachuk trying to get around Slavin, battling for it down low in the corner. Carrier is there as well. Sanderson now down low in the corner for Ottawa. Up top to Cousins. Cousins trying to dump it down low. He'll get it there. Now Tim Stützle in front. Tkachuk a shot. That one's denied. Now Stützle gets back down low. And it's broken up. And the Canes will clear the other way. Sanderson off the boards for Stützle. Back to Tkachuk. Cross-ice pass then for Eller. Dumped down low into the Carolina zone. Eller up top. Broken up then by the Canes. Here they come the other way. It's Aho. 1-on-2. He has no reinforcements with him, and the Sens break it up. Into the zone, Svechnikov. Over for Aho. Aho up top then. Kind of gets broken up there a little bit by Eller. Pass over is broken up as well. Walker at the point. Miller a shot. Blocked in front through the traffic. And the Sens will clear to center. Sean Walker then down low in the Carolina end. Back over to K'Andre Miller. Flipped into the zone then by Jankowski. Montemalo will try and clear it off the boards. Jankowski battling forward here on the right side. Below the line then, Canes trying to move that puck. Shot on there by Carrier is blocked. Senators will get it back to center. And all the way back down low into the Carolina zone. 5.5 minutes to go here in this second period. The Sens have not had a shot since the 4-minute mark of this period. Sanderson into the zone, back over then for Batherson. In front! Sanderson, a shot there is denied. So there's the first shot in a hot minute there for the Sens. Now regrouping with it down low, Miller. Behind the net then for Walker. Not a lot of whistles here in this one. Puck is dumped into the Ottawa zone, icing at 5:08 against the Canes. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. I would greatly appreciate it. And a little bit of a lull here in terms of the views and all that currently on the channel. But it's all good. We'll get out of it. It's got to get rough before it gets better. Here's Jake Sanderson now through center. Sanderson will dump it down low into the Carolina end. Now Anderson out of his own net, back over for Miller. Ridley Gregg on the right side. Gregg trying to bring that one down low. Tkachuk gets it back then for Ottawa. He'll backhand it around behind the net. Penalty coming up here against the Canes, and we are going to get a Sens power play. For the first time in this period, and with 4:41 to go, Ottawa will now head back to the power play. They were 0 for 1 earlier. All right, Senators power play coming up here in just a couple moments, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We are just a little bit over 70 subscribers away from 5,700. That is the next goal here on the channel. Done a lot this year. It's been a great season. I'm grateful for all your guys' support. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is me providing the best commentaries for you guys, and that's what we're going to be doing here all day today and all throughout these playoffs. But Ottawa with a good chance here to possibly tie up the game here if they can get a goal here on this power play. They're 0 for 1 tonight. After a power play in the first period, I don't think they had a shot on that power play either, so definitely got to register some shots on here. Still in commercial break, by the way. And we're back. Shots are 15-7. They've been mostly the same through these last few minutes. I got a feeling they may change, though. The Sens went a hot minute without a shot on goal. And I believe, I don't know if they've actually had a shot on goal since then, actually. I thought they did. I thought Sanderson had a chance down low. Maybe he shot it wide. All right, power play coming up now for the Sens with 4:41 remaining in the second period. Carolina 36 wins during the regular season when they scored first. Face-off one back then by the Canes. Cleared off the boards up top. Stützle at the point for Ottawa. On the right side, Batherson battling forward. It's taken away then by Carolina and dumped back into the Ottawa zone. Jake Sanderson. Now here on the right side for the Sens. We'll move it through center. Sanderson drops it back for Stützle. Cross ice pass to Cousins. Cousins down low for Stützle. Batherson. Below the line then. Back over for Stützle. Down low in the corner. Good pressure by the Canes in front. They fanned on the puck. And Sanderson could not keep it in. Great chance there for Batherson in front. But he fumbled the puck and couldn't get the shot on. Batherson into the zone. Broken up then by the Canes, and they clear the other way. Yeah, I agree. Ullmark has definitely kept the Sens in the game. I agree with that. Here's Dylan Cousins now. Will backhand it down low into the Carolina zone. Cousins battling forward then on the right side. Walker will bank it off the boards then for the Canes. Stützle. Down low then for Tkachuk. Tkachuk battling forward with Nikishin. Now Pinto. Pinto up top to Chabot. Cross ice pass then to Stützle. Stützle then for Cousins. Cousins here on the right side for Ottawa. Trying to flick that one down low. Stützle backhand on goes wide. Broken up then by Carolina. They will clear it down the other way. Linus Ullmark will drop it back then. 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. Pinto. Back for Giroux. Claude Giroux now carries it through center. He'll backhand it down low into the Carolina zone. Chatfield battling forward here in the corner with Pinto. Jacob Slavin is there as well, trying to get that one free. Now Robinson will try and clear. Kept in by Chabot. Chabot battling forward with Pinto. Zetterlund's there as well. Fogle down low now on the right side. Penalty is over. Great kill by the Canes. Chatfield will bank it off the boards and all the way back down into the Ottawa zone. That's an icing at 2:31. Or they're letting the clock run on my screen. Was it really 2:25? Huh, maybe it was. I'll take their word for it. 2.5 minutes to go here till the end of period number 2. The only goal in this game comes from Logan Stankoven, assisted by Jackson Blake and Taylor Hall. And it's a 1-0 lead for Carolina. Not sure what's happening here. I think they're just taking a second here on the ice. Oh yeah, they were fixing the clock. That's what it was. I figured the clock was a little messed up. 2:37 left to go in the second. I was gonna say they let the clock run like way after the icing whistle. I'm like, why are we doing that? Had to add some of the time to the clock. Face off here in the Carolina zones. One back by the Canes. Chatfield to the right side to Miller. Puck is cleared back to center then. Pinto will try and get it down low. Olmark out of his net gives it up then for Jordan Spence. Jordan Spence been a pleasant add for Ottawa in the offseason. He's been a massive factor in why their blue line's held up. Turnover at the line. Here's Blake into the zone. He's got some room. Pass over. It's in the crease. What a block by Spence. And there's what I said. Oh, man. Goss to spare. Backhands it down low into the corner. Taylor Hall was nearly there for it. Carolina keeping control. Blake gets it now below the line. He tried to deke around Spence, and he was broken up. Sanderson down low in the corner. Up then for Gregg. Ridley Gregg now will flick this one down low into the Carolina zone. Goss to spare. Backhands it up then for Blake. Jackson Blake racing for it down low. Whistle blown dead at 1:42 for an icing. Again, upcoming Cup playoff games here on the channel. Stars and Wild, Game 1 later on today. That'll be a fun game in Dallas. Flyers and Penguins at 8 p.m. That should be a fun one as well. Face-off here now is one back by the Sens. Shabbat dumps it down low behind the net. Jackson Blake trying to get it back then for Carolina. Stankoven throws it to center. Shabbat battling for it on the right side. Zetterlund will dump it down low into the Carolina end. Anderson back to Nikishin. On the right side now trying to get that one was Zetterlund behind the net then to Tkachuk. Sens have still not had a shot here in a hot minute. Monempalo at the point dumps it down low to the corner. He'll get it back, fires it wide of Anderson. Now up top, Shabbat fires it again. That one's denied there as well. And there's the first shot in a while. Last minute of play here in period number 2. Tkachuk gets into it with a Carolina player in the corner. Down low now in the Ottawa zone. Olmark falls on his back there for a second. At center now, Batherson plays it ahead then for Pinto. Pinto takes it into the zone, fires it, saved by Anderson. Up top, Shabbat. Huge hit there by Ehlers, and the Canes will regain control. Here they come the other way. Into the zone now, Marnook brings it in below the line, pass in front, and what a hit there by Ehlers down low. And now the Sens take it back the other way. 25 seconds to go. Sanderson broken up and cleared back into the Ottawa zone. 15 seconds to go. Sens will make one last push here in the second. Fogle will flip it down low. It's intercepted by the Canes. Jarvis poke checks it away. Back to center. Cousins will dump it down low. And that'll pretty much do it here for period number 2. End of 2 periods here in Carolina. And we have a goal. Logan Stankoven from Jackson Blake and Taylor Hall makes it a 1-0 lead for the Canes after 40 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 3 momentarily. Shots are 8-4 in favor of Carolina in that period. Ottawa got some shots at the end of that period to make it 15-9 in total. But the Canes lead the Sens 1-0 here after 40 minutes of play. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. As always, it's greatly appreciated. Stay tuned for period number 3 coming up. All right. Gonna make a clip of the Logan Stankoven goal. Get some views there. 61% of you now believe the Canes. More of you voted for the Sens in that period. I thought it was 68% in favor of Carolina at that point. Some of you guys still believe in the Sens. Huh.
Celebrity cruises. Nothing comes close.
Good luck going after our fans. We have a hunter's meal at McDonald's.
All right.
Soccer boys breakfast meal. Ours has an unlimited shaker price. Ours has hash browns.
Hash browns. Zoe, it's a battle of the fans.
We love you. Now at McDonald's. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Don't fight.
Thank you all for tuning in. Comment anything you guys want to talk about in the comment section down below. Third period coming up in about 16 minutes or so. A little more than that, a little less than that. We'll find out. Ottawa added a goaltender recently, right? They added James Reimer earlier in the year. It wasn't that recent, but it was earlier in the year. But no, for the most part, they've had Olmark as their guy, despite the struggles.
Dumped into the zone there by the King. Dumped into the zone there. Pass. Dumped into the zone. Pass. Dumped into the zone
All right.
by the Canes. Sanderson behind the net, then Shabbat back over to Spence. Over to Spence. Carolina that one in the zone, flicks it down low. Hall in front, stay over to drive. He's gone. The zone flicks it down low. Carolina trying to keep that one in the zone, flicks it down low. Hall in front, stay over to drive. He's gone.
Wyatt Cousins on the power play for Ottawa in 2026. Played 58 games in 2020 for the Canadians. Was Nick Cousins? I thought it was Dylan Cousins.
He scored. Stay over to drive. He scores. Logan Stankoven with the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Open up the scoring. It's 1-0.
I didn't realize that. Was Nick Cousins really on Carolina's power play? I didn't even realize that. Seriously? Or really on Ottawa's power play? Really? No way. That can't be right.
What does great really mean?
We made our picks in the East, so now it's time to make our picks.
That can't be right.
And winners of the President's Trophy take.
No jingles or mascots. Just great insurance.
All right. Competition between goalies brings the best out of them. Yep, I agree.
Welcome to the Discover Second Intermission Report.
Back with the fellas, 1-0 in favor of Carolina after 40 minutes of play. In that first period, AJ talked about the neutral zone. Filled up, kind of muddy, hard to get around. Messner fighting for every inch of the ice out.
The first couple games in a playoff series, he set the tone everywhere on the ice.
All right.
The Cubs play the New York Mets second game in the series, and that's
Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Kind of in a bit of a lull here in terms of the viewership. I know I mentioned that a couple times tonight. I would appreciate all of your guys' support. It's all good, though. The views aren't the biggest factor.
And after a 37-year-old captain does that, I think you need more from Brandon Miller there, and he's got to fight for position, he's got to fight for place. Otherwise, this will be a short series.
And I know where that ends up. You know, I had to fight Brady for that before, and it was like bam, bam. So there's a price to pay for that as well. Linus Ullmark, one of the question marks, as are many goaltenders in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Maybe 15 of the 16, by the way, but we'll see. Linus Ullmark's never won a playoff series. What about his game? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of attention on him, but it starts for me in your own zone with the breakouts. And Ottawa here executes on the breakout, but they don't come out clean. And to me, when I look at Linus in this position,
All right. There we go. Perfect. That is done. 61% in favor of Carolina. That's what the poll's going to stay at. And the poll results there. You all think that Carolina is going to win game one. It looks like you guys are right so far. Most of you are right so far. 1-0 lead here for the Canes. Again, as I said, Logan Stankoven gets the first goal of the playoffs, his fourth in a live commentary stream. Jackson Blake gets the assist, along with Taylor Hall as well. Updating my stat chart here really quick. All right, there we go. All right. Period number 3 coming up here in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning in. Our third period coming up in just a moment. So again, we'll be live for Dallas, Minnesota later on tonight, as well as Philadelphia and Pittsburgh as well. Why is it private? Guess I forgot to make it public. Whoops. My bad, y'all. All right. Your chance to win a trip to the Stanley Cup final for you and 4 friends. Enter on the Great Clips app today.
Charlie, here. I'm here.
I'll be right back.
Good, Charlie. Come, sit. Let's go home. Charlie, stop. Charlie, what are you doing? Charlie, will you stop that? Charlie, are you crazy? Silly dog. No more treats for you.
Sorry, where were we?
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Stick around in the stream for period number 3. Quinn Hughes is playing today too, apparently. He was out with illness. Gulutzin said that the Stars should know more about Rupe Hintz on Monday. Okay. Goalies tonight here, taking a look at the goaltender stats. Start off on one side. Frederik Andersen has not had to face a lot of action tonight. 9 saves on 9 shots. Yeah, so there's Nick Cousins and Dylan Cousins. Dylan Cousins for the Sens. I'll have to make sure to specify. I always forget to specify. Dylan Cousins is their second-line center. Nick Cousins is like their fourth-line enforcer. So I forgot to specify there's more than one Cousins on the Senators. Linus Ullmark, 14 saves on 15 shots, .933 save percentage. Pretty solid game for Linus Ullmark, comparatively speaking. Starting goalies here tonight in their records. Linus Ullmark in his 11th live commentary, 7-2-1. A 2.70 and a .885 heading into tonight. Frederik Andersen on the other side is 9th live commentary. A 3-3-2 record. A 2.63 and a .882. This is Ullmark's, or this is Anderson's first game, first Watch with Nordic commentary since the Winter Olympics. So it's been a while since we've seen him in a live commentary.
Is the beer saver. Yes, these are completely sold out. They were available in Friday, Saturday games during the regular season, but no more, as they are the sold out item that keeps 27 ounces of the best Labatt Blue hockey fans can get. I actually had to get ex-Sabre now analyst Marty Baron to bring this to me today because you can't find them anywhere. I've had so many fans asking me where I got it, or do I have them?
They got Shen jerseys in the Sabres team store. Oh my lord. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. They're really selling those in the Sabres team store. That's nuts. Oh, there's Eric Johnson. Drinking a beer saber. All right, a little less than 6 minutes, it says on here, till the start of period number 3. Probably more like this, though. Typically, they put that up there as a little bit more time with the commercial breaks, but it's usually when we get back to the regular thing. Hold you now? Hey, man, you still got another period left. Yeah, it doesn't look good for you, though. Might be Canes in 5 after today. Might be Canes in 5. Doesn't look good. So far, an all-right game. Yeah, not too bad. The other games later on will be better, I think. We got to remember, this is the first time ever that these two teams have played each other in the playoffs. The first time ever. It's nuts. It's crazy how that is. All right, third period coming up here in about 4.5 minutes or so, or 4 minutes if you could say that too. I am going to go use the bathroom really quick. I will be right back in just a moment, guys. It has been pretty one-sided, to be honest with you. It has been pretty one-sided. All right, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Hope this will be year of the underdogs. I hope so, too. We'll see what happens, though. We will see what happens with that, though. Already down another bottle of water. All right. A little less than 2 minutes to go till period number 3. Again, the only goal so far in this game came from Logan Stankoven. It's been a lot of Carolina, especially in that opening period for sure. We'll see what happens here in this third period. But if Ottawa wants to get back in this game, they're going to need to have more shots on. That's for sure. You cannot win a hockey game with only 9 shots through 40 minutes. Ehlers should keep his game simple, not time in game 1 for Michigan. Yep. Ottawa's been playing well defensively. Wouldn't call it one-sided. Ottawa's forecheck hasn't been what it was in the regular season. Yeah, they play well defensively. They've limited Carolina's shots. I think it'd be a lot more if they weren't playing their best defense. But, I mean, the most important thing is you need to get shots on. That's the number one goal now. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't get on net. That's kind of what Wayne Gretzky said. Right? Kind of. Only kind of. Alrighty, everyone, let's get ready for the start of period number 3 here between the Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes. It's been a well-played game so far. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Logan Stankoven. And only Logan Stankoven through the first 40 minutes of play. And getting ready for period number 3 coming up here now in just a moment. Your stats through 40. Shots are 15-9 in favor of Carolina. Faceoffs is 57% in favor of the Sens. They've won most of the faceoffs tonight. Power plays, Ottawa 0 for 2. Carolina also 0 for 2. Hits are 43-28 in favor of the Canes. A lot of physicality tonight. And block shots are 12-4 in favor of the Sens. Period number 3 coming up here in just a moment. A very physical period and physical game as well. Of obviously the fight off the start of the draw. And then the just the constant physicality tonight. There's been plenty of big hits. And Brady Tkachuk's been mostly at the center of that. He's gotten into it with Ehlers a couple of times. And there's his father in the crowd, Keith Tkachuk. Where's Matthew at? Where's Matthew at? Keith Tkachuk in the crowd with his sister. With Brady's sister, not Keith's sister. And we are underway now for period number 3 between the Hurricanes and the Senators. Forgot to swap all this, of course. My apologies. Puck is dumped down low into the Ottawa zone. Taylor Hall battling for it down low with Shabbat. Down low in the corner now, Marnook. Trying to poke check it ahead to the right side. Gregg battling for it then with Stahl. Jordan Stahl now on the right side. Flick back to center. Ehlers gets it back for the Canes. Pass up top, broken up then by the Sens. Tkachuk. Cross-ice pass for Gregg. Gregg will dump it down low into the Carolina zone. Marnook battling for with Cousins. Canes will hold it now in their own zone. K'Andre Miller in the Carolina end. 9:15 to go in the third period. Shots are 15-9 through 40 minutes of play. Dump back down low into the Ottawa zone. Getting it back is Montempalo. Off the boards then. Batherson trying to play this one through center. Sanderson gets it back then. Will chip it off the boards. On the right side then. Stützle back over for Batherson. Batherson ahead then for Claude Giroux. Giroux comes in at the line. Fires it down low and wide of Anderson. It's grabbed back then by Aho. Aho through his legs then to Svechnikov. Svechnikov will dump it down low into the Senators zone. Ullmark off the boards then for Batherson. Battling for it on the right side then was Jankowski. Sens will clear it back to center. Claude Giroux will backhand that one down low into the Carolina zone. Now Jalen Chatfield behind his own net then for the Canes. Nikishin below the line then for Carolina. Will flip this one off the boards. Canes have no shots since the 9:08 mark of the second period. Here's Jackson Blake into the zone. Backhand on there. I believe that may have been a shot. So it's mostly been like back and forth a lot of this game tonight. Here's Dennis Gilbert. Down in his own end. Will flip this one off the boards. Now Taylor Hall battling for it in the corner with Giroux. Jackson Blake fighting for it with Montempalo. Pinto is there as well. It's kind of a board battle for it right now. Puck is banged back to center. Canes will regroup in their own end. Backhanded down low into the Ottawa zone. Spence off the boards to Sanderson. Jake Sanderson now cross-ice pass to Spence. Off the boards then through the zone. Fogle a shot. and that one is gloved by Anderson. So there's some good chances there. Senators finally have their 10th shot of the game, and it comes in the third period. Shots are now 16-10 as the Canes get a shot as well. And Artem Zub is now out of the game. Took an injury there. Face-off. Here in the Carolina zone, won by the Sens. Stützle, a shot. That one goes wide of Ullmark. And we have a penalty coming up here. It's against the Canes. Jalen Chatfield will head to the box. And at 17:20 the Senators get a massive opportunity. They will head to the power play. So here's a chance for the Sens to tie the game. As Chatfield cross-check Batherson into the corner. And it's going to result in an Ottawa power play to start. The Sens need to get shots on. That's pretty much the bottom line. Face-off one immediately, and they start off rough. Puck is dumped into the Ottawa zone. Canes get it out. Sanderson behind the net now for Ottawa. Sanderson back over then for Stützle. Stützle carries it into the zone. Cross-ice pass to Tkachuk. Stützle below the line. Pass up top. Cousins a shot. And that one goes wide. Stützle up top to Sanderson. Down low. Tipped in front. And denied by Anderson. Good save there for Freddie Anderson. Hasn't had to face a ton of shots tonight. Hasn't really been a shot-heavy game here tonight, to be honest with you. Carolina only has 4 more shots than the Sens do, but Frederik Andersen so far has been perfect through the chances he's faced. He's going to need to be perfect once more. Face off here in the Carolina zone. It'll be Stützle versus Aho. Off the draw here now. Canes will win it back. Walker will clear it off the boards and all the way back down into the Ottawa zone. Linus Ullmark will give it back then for Sanderson. Jake Sanderson will drop it back then for Stützle. Stützle carries it into the zone. Cross-ice pass is broken up then by a Carolina stick, and it slides all the way back into the Ottawa end. Sanderson down low now in the Ottawa zone. Pass up top then to Batherson. Batherson carries it in, drops it back to the point for Sanderson. Sanderson to Cousins. Cousins over for Tkachuk. Stützle on the right side, then they couldn't convert. Sanderson up top. Pass to Stützle. Down low, Cousins in front. Save rebound. What a save by Frederik Andersen. They're calling it a goal. And it's in the back of the net. The Sens have tied the game. I thought Andersen made the save. Oh, that's going to be an interesting one to look at on the replay. Drake Batherson. I'm not 100% sure who's going to get credit for this goal. I need to see the replay. But the Senators have tied the game. Let's take a look. I don't know. This play needs to be reviewed. This might not be in. It was right on the line that he made the save. We need to review. They need to take a look at this. I don't know. I can't tell from that angle. Do you have an angle from the other side, please? Yeah, this isn't going to help. This ain't going to help, gang. The goal line cam doesn't really help because his glove kind of blocks us from seeing it in the net. Unless if you can see it there in his glove. No, I don't think this is good. I don't think this is going to be a goal. The entire puck has to cross the goal line, and it's not really conclusive enough. I don't think this is a goal. You can't see, you really can't see it. It's one of those ones where it's tough because you can't see it. It's right on the line. That's going to be close. They'll take a long look at this, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't think this is a good goal, guys. I think this is not. I think this is going to come back. It was initially called a goal on the ice. Seeing the replays, it's like on the line where he makes the save. And here's the call. We have a no-goal call. Puck and glove, glove and net should be a goal. You can't tell that it's across the goal line, though. It looked like when the glove was across the goal line that the puck wasn't in the glove. It's confusing. You can't see, though. You can't see the puck in the glove. You have to see the puck in the glove. That's the thing. And especially from the goal line angle, you don't see it. From this angle, too, you don't really see it either. Batherson nearly tied the game for Ottawa, but alas, the goal will come back and they'll have to try again. Face-off here in the Carolina zone. It's a tie-up on the right side. Canes will get it back to center. 2-on-2. Stahl into the zone. Fires it there on Olmark. He'll make the save. Sanderson behind the net then for Ottawa. Up top to Cousins. Dylan Cousins up for Stützle. Stützle carries it in. On the right circle. Crosses back. Batherson down low. Pass in front. Saved by Anderson. They jab at that puck. It's in the crease. And the referee blows the whistle. And now everybody's pushing each other. Frederik Andersen, what a stop on that sequence. Oh, my Lord. What a save by Frederik Andersen. Tkachuk was just robbed in front. Oh, my Lord. Frederik Andersen. Wow. And the physicality there ensued in the corner as well. They got into it for sure. What a save by Frederik Andersen. And the Sens keep on the pressure. Shots are 6-0 in favor of Ottawa. Here in this third period, the shots are dead even too. Face-off now in the Carolina zone. Still 22 seconds of power play time for the Sens. Sean Walker will clear this one off the boards and all the way back down low into the Ottawa zone. Olmark back over then for Chabot down low. This will pretty much do it for the Ottawa power play. Chabot drops it back for Spence. Chabot up to Giroux. Giroux carries it into the zone. Power play is over. Down low now with it is Pinto. Fires it. Save. Rebounds in front. Backhand there. And through the crease is Chabot. Oh, man. They're getting the chances. They can't get it across the goal line. Canes will hold it down low. Giroux tried to keep that one in the zone. Chabot holds it now in the neutral zone. Back to Giroux, who will chip it down low. Taylor Hall regroups now in the Carolina zone. Nikishin on the right side now for Carolina. The Canes have not had a shot yet in this third period. Shot there from Hall and denied there by Olmark as soon as I say that. Puck's in the crease, though. And the whistle's blown dead as the physicality and the intensity between these two teams keeps on mounting. And good save there by Linus Olmark, who I would argue up until this second period was keeping his team in the game. Now the Sens have started to show some pushback after what felt like a dominant period for the Canes. But they could not get that game-tying goal. Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. It's going to be Eller versus Aho. Senators are making that late push. The question is, will they be able to get that game-tying goal? Face-off. One back by the Sens. Sanderson back over then for Spence, who will try and clear. Batherson will throw it back down low. Spence to Sanderson. Sanderson will dump it down low into the Carolina end. Slavin battling for it now down low. Stützle back over then for Batherson. Pass in front's broken up. Svechnikov, cross-ice pass. He's hit there by Jarvis at the line. Here they come the other way. Chatfield fires it, and that one goes wide of Olmark. Up top, Jarvis. Cleared back down low behind the net, then to Sanderson. About 6 minutes to go here, or 6 minutes gone here in this third period. Here they come the way. Fogle, a backhand there denied by Anderson. And the puck goes up and out of play. A little over 6 minutes gone here in the third period. Ottawa's making a push. The question is, will it be enough? And don't forget, later on tonight, Stars and Wild and Flyers and Pens later on the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so then that way when we go live for the next stream, you guys get the alert. Some people ask me, why do I stop the stream? Why do I stop and start a new stream? Part of it is so I can get that notification bell out there that we're live for the next game. And as well as that too, you know, again, keep the stats in fair check as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. We are on the grind here to 5,700 subscribers. Yeah, controversial callback already. There'll be plenty of that in this year's playoffs. There always is. Wasn't expecting that now, though. Shots are 7-3 in favor of Ottawa so far in this third period. The Sens have really turned things up. Taking a look at the goaltender stats furthermore, Frederik Andersen, still perfect, has stopped all 16 shots that have come his way. Linus Ullmark, now a .944, making 17 saves on 18 shots so far. This will be the series to watch. I'll say this too. We will be live for Game 3 of this series when it comes back to Ottawa on the 23rd of April. We will not be live for Game 2. We'll be live for Games 3, 4, and we'll see how it is beyond that. Face-off here now in the Carolina zone. One back by the Sens. Tkachuk dekes in, fires it above Anderson. Down low now, battling for a Carrier. Spence a drive, and that one goes wide as well. Tkachuk up top. Shoots it down low to the corner. Now Spence. Thrown behind the net then, Cousins. Battling for it with Stahl. Taken back then by Carolina on the right side. Martinook trying to get it free. Gregg fighting with Miller. Down low now, Stahl off the boards then to center for Ehlers. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. It's Ehlers into the zone. Drops it back into the zone. Stahl, a shot saved by Ullmark. And it goes just wide. Jordan Spence behind the net then for Ottawa. Sanderson. Up top to Gregg, who will backhand it down low in on Anderson. In the corner now, Nikishin. He'll backhand that one off the boards to center. Jackson Blake carries it into the zone, broken up then by the Sens. Shabbat down low, back for Hall. Hall to Blake below the line. Taylor Hall thrown up top, then the Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Nikishin. Fires it. Save, rebound to the crease. It's right there. It's in. They score. It's Logan Stankoven. And the Canes take a 2-0 lead. I couldn't tell for a moment. Ullmark did not move a muscle. Logan Stankoven, his second goal of the game. And it's 2-0 Canes. And let's see this replay here because that puck trickled. It was right on the line. And Stankoven pots the rebound. And makes it 2-0 Canes. Yep. It was loose in the crease. I mean, Ullmark made the initial save. But unfortunately, the puck bounced right in front. Nobody was there for Ottawa to get it back in time. Well, there were. Sanderson was there, but. Second goal of the game for Stankoven. His third career multi-goal playoff game. Assisted by Taylor Hall and Alex Nikishin. And it's a 2-0 lead for Carolina here in the third period. Shots now 20-16 in favor of the Canes. Cousins Dumps it down low behind the net to Monempalo, who fires it on. It goes wide. Below the line then with it is Cousins. Nick Cousins, that is. Carrier. Battling for with Nikishin. About 12 minutes to go here in regulation. The Canes have made their lead a 2-goal lead. And a whistle blown dead here now as Nikishin is down. And it looks like he was interfered with. And we're going to get a penalty coming up here against the Sens. And it's going to be on Nick Cousins. Carolina will go to the power play. We'll see this replay here as Cousins got into it with Nikishin. Yeah, not the greatest call in the world, but definitely interference. And Carolina will head to the power play. 12:05 left to go in the third period. Nick Cousins to the box for interference. The Sens will have to head back to the kill. Carolina can kind of put this game away here if they score yet again. Stankoven with 2 goals tonight. Face-off won by Carolina. Jarvis to Gostis. Bears broken up. Sanderson will take it and clears it down the other way. Regrouping with it now down low in his own end. Anderson will give it back to Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere will drop it back for Aho. Aho up to Ehlers. Ehlers dekes in back to Gostisbehere at the point. Ghost down low then to Svechnikov. Right side then now Jake Sanderson moves it through center. Here come the Sens. Amadio carries it into the zone. Battling forward on the right side. Gostisbehere is there as well. Taken back by Jarvis. Jarvis to Aho. Stolen back by Gostisbehere. Brings it in. Ghost will throw it down low to Ehlers. Ehlers fighting with Monempalo. Intercepted then by the Canes. Svechnikov hit down low to the corner by Shabbat. Up top now Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Jarvis. At the point now Aho. Aho to Ehlers. Ehlers to Gostisbehere. Tipped in front and up in the air. And out of play. A little over halfway through this third period. And that goal, man, that's to suck. Ottawa just couldn't get it out. Olmark made the initial save, but it deflected off the top of his pad and right into the goal line, and that has to suck. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone. Stahl versus Giroux. Face-off won by the Canes. Stankoven is out there. Blake to Hall. Try to throw a pass in front there. It's denied by Olmark. And he will cover up. Shots are 22-16. Now the shots are dead even at 7 apiece. After the Sens started letting it up at the beginning. They may have changed the goal to Taylor Hall. It says it's Hall now who gets the goal on my screen. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone. Cleared back around up top, Nikishin. Will backhand it down low. Shabbat battling forward with Hall. Taylor Hall up top then for Nikishin. So that Stankoven's second goal was actually credited to Taylor Hall. Nikishin the stall in front. Hall driving at that puck. Backhand goes wide of Olmark. Stankoven up top to Nikishin. Nikishin back to Stankoven. Stankoven down low for Blake. Jackson Blake to Nikishin, a shot, and that one is blocked. Sanderson now brings it through center. 10 seconds to go here on the Carolina power play. Here they come the other way. It's Stützle, fires it, and that one goes wide of Anderson. Stahl to Stützle, played back up top. Here come the Canes now the other way. Jackson Blake gets around Cousins as he comes out of the box. Halfway through the third. Stützle carries it in. Cross-ice pass is broken up there. Canes will play it down low. Miller below the line then thrown back to center. Blake will dump it down low into the glove of Olmark. And a whistle blown dead here at 9:40. Shots are 22-17 in favor of the Canes. And Logan Stankoven and Taylor Hall. That line has been the connection so far tonight. It's 2-0 Canes here in the third period. So it's been basically that entire line of Logan Stankoven, Taylor Hall, and Jackson Blake who have been converting on everything here. It's that line that has been the most clutch tonight. The Sens aren't playing too bad, but unlucky goals there. Especially the Taylor Hall one. I mean, Olmark makes the initial save. He couldn't get the rebound there. He just stood still. I don't think he wanted to move because he thought the puck was on top of him. And if he moved, there was a chance that the puck would have went into the back of the net, so he just stood still. I think that was the motive behind that, but I don't know. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into wonderful commentary. Don't forget, later on today, Stars and Wild and Flyers and Penguins are the two streams coming up later tonight here on the channel. Stars and Wild should be a lot of fun. 9:40 left to go here in period number 2. Again, we'll transition to that game following the conclusion of this one. That one is an American Airlines Center. And later on, PPG Paints Arena. Face-off here in the Ottawa zone is won back then by the Sens. Spence clears it back to center. Getting it back down low then is Walker. Look out for the Sens to make one more push. Ehlers into the zone, loops it back around. Down low for Marnook. Marnook pass in front. And broken up there is Stahl. Shabbat fighting for it there on the right side. Spence over to Tkachuk. Now Cousins. Cross-ice pass over then for Shabbat. Carolina will clear to center. Zetterlund gets it back then for Ottawa. Fabian Zetterlund brings it into the zone. Below the line then for Ottawa. Back over to Cousins. Dylan Cousins waits, fires it. Saved by Anderson yet again. And we have a penalty coming up here yet again. It's against the Senators this time. I believe it's against Ottawa. See the replay here. Yep, that's a slash. Carolina will head to the power play yet again. It's been a lot of Carolina on the man advantage tonight. It does feel like deja vu a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember the last time that the Senators played their first game of the playoff. They played last year. Let me reword this. Let me restart. Hi, I'm Nordic. It's a little bit of deja vu because last year in Ottawa's first game of the playoffs, they took a lot of penalties against the Leafs last year in their first game. It does kind of feel like that in this one. Fourth power play of the game for Carolina. Jarvis at the point, back over to Ehlers. Ehlers to Svechnikov. Ehlers broken up then by the Sens. Giroux will clear it all the way down the other way. They changed the shots up a little bit. Now 21-18 they read. Gostisbehere drops it back to Aho. Now Ehlers carries it through center off the boards for Jarvis. Jarvis will dump it down low into the corner. Ehlers down low to Jarvis. Jarvis below the line, then up top to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere broken up by the Sens. Stützle will get it to center. Here's Pinto. 3-on-2 the other way. Pinto into the zone. Back to Stützle, and a whistle's blown dead. Are we getting another penalty against the Sens? Gostisbehere takes a stick up to the mouth. 5-on-3 for the Canes yet again. Oh, man. Oh, that's brutal. And that's not intentional either. You can see on that play, he's trying to skate away and go get the puck, but He gets Gostisbehere up there in the face, and that has to hurt. 5-on-3. The neck, actually. Actually on the neck. Wasn't the face. Couldn't tell from the replay. From the first replay. A minute 15 of Carolina 5-on-3 time, and they could pretty much put this game to bed if they do the right way. They're 0 for 4 tonight on the power play. Svechnikov up top to Nikishin. Nikishin to Aho. Pass over! And Ehlers fires one wide. Puck will slide all the way back down low into the Carolina zone. Getting it back then is Aho. Sebastian Aho now down low in the Carolina zone. Aho will look for options. He'll give it back then for Ehlers, who will carry it through center. Jarvis now on the right side. Up top to Aho. Back over to Svechnikov. Fires it into the chest of Ullmark. Who would have thought that Anderson would come back to haunt his old team? Did he play for Ottawa? Frederik Anderson played for Ottawa? Face-off coming up here now in the Ottawa zone. It's Aho versus Giroux. 7.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Still 5-on-3. Face-off. Here's Ehlers taking the draw now. Giroux went to take it. He is upset at that official. Sanderson versus Ehlers. I was going to say, he didn't play for Ottawa. Here's Aho. At the point now for Carolina. Cross-ice pass to Gostisbehere. Aho. Down low to Jarvis. In front. Svechnikov, a shot. Saved by Ullmark. Jarvis down low to Ehlers. Ehlers up top to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Aho. Aho to Ehlers. A drive. Save. Rebound in front. Denied by Ullmark. Oh, looks like Ehlers had some net there to put the 1T on, but he decided to pass it, looking at the replay. Face-off here now is won by the Canes. Jarvis up top to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Aho. Aho fires it. Save rebound in front. And denied there by Ullmark. It's in the crease. Sens will clear. 5 seconds left to go on the two-man advantage. Gostisbehere. Back for Stankoven. Now on to 5-on-4 for 40 seconds. Blake to Ehlers. A shot tipped just wide. Puck is cleared all the way back down low into the Carolina zone. Nikishin will regroup here in the Carolina end. 6.5 minutes to go in regulation. Nikishin back for Stankoven. Logan Stankoven now. Cross-ice pass tipped away then by the Sens. Ehlers down low. Hall to Stankoven in front. What a save by Ullmark. Beautiful glove save by Linus Ullmark. And he keeps it a 2-goal game. Shots now 27-18 in favor of the Canes. And Linus Ullmark, despite maybe not his greatest game in terms of the goals that he allowed, they were pretty soft goals. Like the Stankoven one, he probably should have had. The other one, it is what it is. Like, I mean, again. Here's Hall. Up top to Walker. Power play is going to come to a close. 5 seconds to go on it. Here's Hall. Up top then to Miller, who's broken up. And we're back to 5-on-5. I mean, they're giving them a lot of power plays, but the Sens keep killing them off. You got to give credit where it's due. Tim Stützle through center then to Pinto. Pinto deking around now at center. Poke checked away there was Taylor Hall. Pinto loses his stick. Here's Stankoven. Fires it into the chest of Ullmark yet again. 5:48 left to go in the third period. 2-0 lead for Carolina. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, later on today, we have the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild coming up on our commentary schedule. I will end this stream and make a new one. So stay tuned for that. I will end this stream and make a new one. That way we can get the notification out there that we are live for the next game. That's usually the strat that I try. Usually it works. Not a horrible start here, though. There's a lot to build on for sure. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe down below if you're new. We are about 70 subscribers away from 5,700. Goals have come from Logan Stankoven and Taylor Hall. It's been that second line for Carolina that has contributed on all of the offense tonight. All right. So, multi-point games for Stankoven, Hall, and Blake. We got a little less than 20 minutes till puck drop for Stars and Avalanche. Or Stars and Avalanche. Stars and Wild. Sorry. 5:48 left to go in regulation here from Carolina. The Canes have a 2-0 lead on the Sens. Face-off in the Ottawa zone. One back by Ottawa. Down low now, Sanderson back for Spence. Tkachuk chips it to center. Puck is down low now into the Ottawa end. Sanderson will get it back then for the Sens. This arena's loud here in Carolina. Here's Batherson. Down low with Miller. On the right side, Cousins battling forward. He trips Ehlers. Surprised that wasn't a penalty. They're calling everything today. Tkachuk fires it wide. Up top then. Broken up. Tkachuk at the point. Stolen back then by the Hurricanes. Ehlers will dump it up in the air. It goes out of play at 5:05. .505 left to go. We are almost in crunch time, folks. Crunch time is when a game is tied or within 2 goals. Face off in the Ottawa zone is one back by the Canes. Nikishin cross ice pass to Gostisbehere. Dumped down low into the Ottawa zone. Shabbat off the boards. Back to center. Nikishin will dump it down low. Shabbat behind the net then to Spence. Puck is banked off the boards and cleared all the way back into the Carolina zone. Nikishin over then for Gostisbehere. Up top for Taylor Hall. Hall over then for Nikishin. Nikishin brings it into the zone below the line. Battling for it down low in the corner. Thrown up top then for Blake. Blake will backhand it around behind the net to Shabbat. Shabbat off the boards then for Amadio. Amadio kind of fumbles the puck there a little bit. Now Greg will get it back to center. He'll regroup. Fighting there with Jackson Blake. Intercepted then by Ottawa. Pinto. Back down low for Amadio. Amadio will hold it now in the Ottawa zone. Intercepted in front. Svechnikov tried to come in there and make it a 3-0 game. Aho. Down low in the corner. Up top to Slavin. Slavin will fire it around then behind the net. Svechnikov back for Jarvis. Jarvis, down low, fighting there with Sanderson. Here's Aho up at the point. Carolina cycling the puck, shot on Omar. He'll make the save at 3:41. Or sorry, 3:40. Canes are nearly up to 30 shots on the night. Let's take a look at the goaltender stats one last time before the end of this one tonight. Linus Ullmark, 27 saves on 29 shots. That's a .931 save percentage. Frederik Andersen has made 18 saves on 18 shots. And with just under 4 minutes to go, face off here now in the Ottawa zone once again. Stahl versus Eller. Face off the draw is one back then by the Sens. Shabbat will give it down low for Spence. Spence off the boards to center now. Battling for on the right side. Martinook trying to get that one back. He'll clear it down low. Shabbat off the boards then to center. And Ullmark's going to go to the empty net here. Ullmark to the bench. Empty net for the Sens. Puck comes out of the boards. Andersen come out to play it. He's not going to go for the empty net. You have seen that before in the playoffs. It's been a couple years. 6 on 5. 3 minutes to go. Puck is cleared down the other way. And we'll get an icing. Now they get an offensive zone faceoff here. The Sens do. And they need to get as many shots as they can on. They've had their chances, especially in this third period, but they need to keep it going. Keep the pressure on. Face off in the Carolina zone. Stahl versus Giroux. Off the draw, it's a tie-up. Cousins to Stützle. Fires it, and that one is blocked. Canes trying to get it back. Ehlers tried to clear. Giroux dumps it around behind the net, then to Batherson. Batherson then to Cousins. Cousins down low to Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk battling forward here in the corner. Tkachuk below the line. 2.5 minutes to go. Chatfield will clear. It goes out of play. They want a penalty. And it doesn't look like they'll... Oh, yes, they will. This is a penalty. Ottawa will head to the power play. 6 on 4, empty net. Down by 2, and this is a massive opportunity here for Ottawa. Power play for the Sens, empty net. 2-0 lead for Carolina. It doesn't get much more important than this. Well, it does. It does. Face off here in the Carolina zone, won by the Sens. Sanderson up top. Stützle, top of the circle, down low then for Tkachuk. Tkachuk in the corner, intercepted by the Canes, kept in. Giroux up top, poke checked away, and forced back into the Ottawa zone. Giroux should have just shot it. Sanderson, back for Stützle. 6 on 4 still. Stützle will fire it around the boards, up top to Cousins. Cousins tied up down low with Batherson alongside Slavin. Aho will try and clear. Sanderson keeps it in. Stützle throws it down low to Giroux. Less than 2 minutes to go here now. Giroux to Batherson. Batherson in front. Tkachuk a shot. It's in the crease. It's cleared away. Sens will keep it in. Sanderson to Stützle. Stützle over to Giroux. Giroux top of the circle. Managing that puck to Sanderson up top. Sanderson to Giroux, right circle. Batherson below the line. Back to Giroux. Sanderson up top. Sanderson to Giroux on the right side. They're just cycling the puck right now. Batherson up top. Stützle shot. Blocked in front. Batherson gets it back. Fires it on. And that's blocked as well. Stützle up top to Sanderson. To Giroux a shot. And that one is blocked by Walker. He'll fire it out. It's kept in. Sanderson to Stützle. And wide. Batherson over to Stützle. Up top Sanderson. Last minute of play in regulation coming up. Here's Giroux. Down low to Batherson. Batherson up top to Giroux. A shot through the crease and wide. Tkachuk up top to Giroux. To Sanderson a drive. And blocked by Jarvis. Stützle back up to Sanderson. Giroux fires it. And gloved by Anderson. The entire crowd is on their feet What a defensive sequence by the Hurricanes. They blocked at least 2 shots on that opportunity. Jarvis had at least 2 blocked shots on his own. And what a save by Freddie Anderson. 44 seconds to go in regulation. Ottawa's going to call a timeout here. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. One last time, I will remind you. Stars and Wild at 5, or as soon as this game ends, actually. Puck drop is said to be at 5:48. We will start before that. We got 45 people here in this commentary, the most we've had in a while. Face-off coming up here in the Carolina zone. There's 10 seconds of power play time left for the Sens before it becomes 6-on-5 yet again. Face-off coming up here now in the Carolina zone. A huge draw here, and it's won back by the Canes. Slavin will dump it off the boards down into the Ottawa zone. Remember, there is no whistle as they're on a power play. The PP will come to a close. Here's Batherson. Back up top to Giroux. Giroux throws it down low to Batherson, who battles for it now on the right side. Stützle with 20 to go. At the point, up top then to Sanderson. Sanderson, a shot is tipped away. Canes will get it back. They will clear to center. 10 seconds to go. Everybody's on their feet. Sanderson back to Giroux. Delayed offsides for Ottawa. And they blow the whistle dead at 5 seconds. And the physicality ensues. Carolina is going to win Game 1 and take a 1-0 series lead. What a phenomenal game from Freddie Anderson. Shots are 14 to 13 in favor of Carolina in this period, 29 to 22 overall. But Freddie Anderson in these last couple minutes has had to make some huge saves. See you, Bon. I'll be live for that next game soon. Looks like Brady Tkachuk's getting booted from the game. Shots are 29 to 22. 8 seconds left to play here in this one. Claude Giroux mouthing off to the Carolina bench. Face-off coming outside of the Carolina zone. It's won back by the Sens. Gilbert will dump it down low. Anderson gets it behind the corner, will fire it off the boards. And it goes out of play at .4. They'll let the clock run out. And the Canes will win Game 1 and take a 1-0 series lead over Ottawa. Frederik Andersen with the shutout here. He becomes the 18th different player in Watch with Nordic history to get a shutout here in a live commentary stream. All right, that will do it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. I will be live literally right after this. Stars Wild Game 1 coming up in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next stream.